56-year-old Daniel Wood built a gingerbread style cabin in the national forest here in Washington state. And of course he did it illegally because you're not allowed to build any kind of property or structure inside the national forest without permission. But he built this gingerbread cabin somewhere around 2014 or so, kind of as a hideout, where he could do basically whatever he wanted to do there and not be seen or heard of. So Daniel Wood stayed in this cabin from about 2014 to 2016 in that 2-year stretch. He basically built this cabin as a hideout away from the population, and he left behind a lot of his belongings, and some of them are just downright creepy. He has pictures all over the walls and ceilings that he left behind, and I have no words to describe how bizarre some of these pictures are. You'll just have to see what I mean when I show you. But anyway, Daniel Wood's hideout cabin was found out about around 2016, so about 2 years after he built it and was living in it, by some forest workers who were kind of nearby, hiking around, doing different projects. They found his cabin with all his belongings and all the bizarre pictures on the walls. But that's not all they found, guys. They found a treasure trove of illegal, terrible pictures of minors in terrible positions. Police were called. They searched the cabin. They searched, apparently he had a second house, and they searched that house as well, and they found thousands of pictures of minors engaging in just terrible, terrible things. So December 2018, Daniel Wood, who was 56 at the time, was charged with 2 counts of possession of depictions of minors engaged in explicit content. And crazy enough, he was only given 9 months in prison. So basically, by the time you're watching this, he is already out of prison. And also, guys, what I read was they were planning on tearing down the cabin once Daniel was convicted of these crimes. Anyway, so the cabin's going to be torn down very soon anyway, since he is now convicted and all that is done with anyway. So without further ado, guys, let's check out this gingerbread cabin. Alright guys, so this parking area behind me, this is where the trail starts, but it's also where Daniel Wood parked his car every single time he came to his illegal cabin he built in the woods here. Witnesses say that they saw his car parked here pretty much all the time during the years like 2014 to 2016. I don't know exactly how long he stayed here, but he stayed here during that time period. But he would park here every single time. And witnesses say they saw his car parked here pretty frequently. So again, it's one of those things where it's kind of hindsight is 2020. I'm sure if people knew something was going on, they would have checked it out sooner. I don't know for sure if I can even find the cabin. It's off the trail here. It's kind of hard to find, but fingers crossed, let's hope I can find it. Now there is some dusting of snow because we are somewhat high up in the mountains. But yeah, there is some light dusting of snow happening. So that's why I wanted to get here before it snowed really, really bad, and I wouldn't be able to get here till spring. And they, like I said, they're going to tear this cabin down. But by the time you see this video, it's very possible that the cabin is completely gone. So that's another reason why I wanted to get up here. Something about knowing that Daniel would walk the same trail that I'm walking right now, knowing all the things I know about him and what he did, it's really weird. I feel very creeped out walking the same trail that Daniel walked, knowing all the stuff that he did. It's just, gives you like a creepy feeling. And it's honestly shocking that someone even found this cabin, because, like I said, it's really far off the trail, and to get here, like you kind of have to know your way around these different trails in the area. We are definitely up in the mountains, as you can tell. Beautiful snow-capped mountains in the distance there. Now, so far my GPS is showing that we're not really on the trail, even though we are. So it's a little confusing. I'm hoping that I can actually find this cabin. Alright, so as you can tell, the pathway, it starts to go up a little bit steep. It's like a mild incline, not too bad. But in order to get to the Gingerbread Cabin, I have to literally hike down a steep decline down the hill here. How on earth did Daniel do this on like a almost everyday basis? Because he lived in the cabin for a while. He probably went to town to get food and supplies. How did he get down here every single time he came here? It's honestly mind-boggling. I mean, what he did, what his crimes were horrible. I'm not gonna dispute that at all. I'm just surprised that he was able to get up and down this steep mountain. Because he wasn't a young man. He was 56 years old, I think, when he got arrested last year in 2018. So I don't know, we'll see. It looks like it's sort of kind of a path, but not really. So let's get down there, guys. Fingers crossed the cabin is still there. So theoretically his cabin should be that way. It's kind of a miracle, guys, but my GPS has actually stayed on and actually not lost signal. Even though I have like no cell phone service, I still get my GPS on Google Maps, so that's helping me be able to figure out where I am, so that's good. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to kind of follow this little creek down the mountain a little bit, just because a lot of times creeks or rivers, a lot of times that's where people build stuff by, and I just have a feeling that Daniel Wood built his gingerbread cabin somewhere by this little river here. So I'm gonna just follow it down a little bit. Reports from my friend, she said that it's only about a mile from the trail up the mountain. I don't know how far a mile is, like walking down a mountain, so I'm kind of just doing my best. I feel like I should invest in like a compass or something that shows how far you walked. That would be helpful. But in the meantime, I will do my best and I'll let you know what I find. Guys, I almost gave up because my GPS just was not working very well. As you can tell, I'm in the middle of the woods here. So it was very slow, so I couldn't tell exactly what direction I was going. But I turned around just out of pure luck and my GPS started working again. And guess what? I found the gingerbread castle. Oh my God, it looks amazing. I mean, like I said, guys, I'm not condoning what Mr. Wood did, but look how cool this looks. It is a legit gingerbread castle or cabin. Alright, as you can tell, there's There's a wood, like little grill on the porch there. Guys, this is freaking epic. Alright, I don't know if it's open or if I can even get in, but let's try to get there. It doesn't even look real, guys. It looks like I'm in a movie, like The Brothers Grimm or something. I mean, you can tell it obviously looks like a gingerbread house that's in the woods. Inside he had tons and tons of pictures all inside the walls of underage girls. And a SD card was found at his house. But supposedly my friend told me that when she went in here not that long ago, there was still his stuff left inside, with some pictures left on the walls. The sheriff's office, I guess, didn't take it all. Guys, I almost missed this. This is like a little carved statue that Mr. Wood, I'm assuming, either carved himself or maybe he bought it from someone. It's like wood nymph or like a fairy or something. But I'm basically standing underneath the cabin here. I'm gonna tell you that it was not easy getting to this. Like I said, I got lost a few times. The floor of the forest here is covered in tons of branches and, you know, logs and things. So like trying to walk through the forest, like, it's not easy. And imagine trying to carry in all the supplies needed, like all this wood and stuff to build this. I'm just impressed. That's all I'm gonna say. I guess I'm gonna have to climb these little stairs here. So I'm standing on basically the porch outside the cabin here, and there's a bunch of weird sayings like carved into the wood. It kind of looks like Greek or Latin potentially, but it's like tons of sayings carved into like the deck here. Abyssum something Fecerus. Guys, let me know if you know what some of this says. Cut Magnus Dan something. It's like he carved in all this stuff, all these sayings, and I have no idea what any of this means. And then I see one of the somewhat provocative pictures that he left here. It wasn't of any actual girls, but he had some other pictures in here as well, and they were like half clothed, like nymphs or something. He had a lot worse things than this, but this is just some of the stuff that I'm talking about. I'm 5'11", and I'm taller than the door here, so you have to duck to get in. But once you're in, the ceiling, since it's such a kind of wide triangle shape, it's actually fine. Once you get inside, you don't have to duck when you get in. Wow. Oh my gosh. So these are some of the pictures left. Some are, well, that one might be, but at least she's covered. Guys, this is just unbelievable. Oh, there's even more up on the ceiling. This is so creepy. Not only is it an abandoned cabin in the woods, but who left all these weird paintings and pictures. It is not very big, but you definitely get to get you get a bed. And of course, he even had a piano. This is just creepy, guys. I don't even know what to say. This is probably the most bizarre abandoned place I've ever been. But besides his bed here, he had a keyboard. So this looks like the only kind of form of entertainment, really, besides all the weird pictures. There's no demonetization. I don't know, they're like, guys, let me know what you think these are. Are they elves? Are they elves? Or nymphs? Or some other kind of, I don't know, creature or something? But yeah, there's pictures all over this ceiling. Some of these pictures give me the jitters. That one looks like a weird, like, zombie girl or something. This seems to be like one of the few actual kind of normal pictures in this cabin. When my friend told me about this weird, creepy abandoned cabin in the woods, I was skeptical because I was like, how is this possible? How is this here? And I never knew about it. And then I was like, well, if it is here, if I can even find it, how is there gonna be stuff left? Like, it just didn't make sense. But lo and behold, as you can fully tell, there are pictures everywhere. There's his bed. Literally everything he had in here, he had it all right here. I'm glad they took the other pictures out of here that were of actual girls. Even though it's still weird, at least these elves or nymphs or whatever they are, at least they're not like, it's not actual human, so it's a little bit better. But yeah, oh yeah, this is a portable buddy heater. I've seen these before. So it's like a propane tank would heat that up, and then it would get warm in here. But he didn't skimp out on pictures or reading material. He obviously liked Lord of the Rings. And then some books about magical herbs. So who knows what kind of stuff he was doing in here. Looks like he had some jewelry in here, guys. That is some of his jewelry that Mr. Wood left. I mean, he left a lot of stuff in here, but he left some jewelry. There's also some designs up here, guys. I don't know if this means anything. I mean, he obviously put it on here for some reason or another. Much that once was lost, for something now live who remember. This is the walkway that I had to walk around the cabin to get in the door. Anyway, guys, this has been, like I mentioned, probably the weirdest and strangest abandoned place I've ever been to. The history alone on this place made it worth the 4-mile trek out here, up the trail and then out through the forest here. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this, definitely subscribe. I have more abandoned content coming from Japan. I wanted to take a small little break from Japan videos to show you guys this video, just because it's so crazy and unique. I just had to show you. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. Until next time, don't forget to live, explore, and travel. My name is Harmon, and I'll see you guys on the next adventure. Also, if you're new around here and you don't know about it, I have a second channel. It's called Unsolved Crime Hunters, where I go around investigating unsolved crimes, usually missing person cases. The link to that will be in the description, and it's always on my main page.